Okay, we have a quorum. We can call to order, right?
We can.
Let's do it.
Okay.
I think we start with general discussion and open forum for anyone present. I don't think that's anyone.
No, I don't think anybody's here.
So minutes from August 3rd, do we have those? We do, right?
Yep.
Let me look real quick. I think that all looks right to me. Anybody want to second the acceptance of the minutes?
I'll second.
Beautiful. So director's report, director.
Okay.
Make it good.
All right, I will. All right, so I also sent you guys a new budget report. So we have a new accounting system.
Whoa.
So I will be able to print out this report anytime, which is fabulous.
Is it the same format, or you think
No, it's a totally different format. So it's just going to take a little bit getting used to. But I'll be able to print it out for every one of our meetings, and everything will be up to date on it, which is great.
Well, that's pretty nice, Maureen.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so our accounting department has been, they have been training all summer long, learning this new accounting software. They're working their tails off in there for sure. So I had training 2 weeks ago, I guess. So any purchase orders or purchase requisitions now, I have to do myself. So I'll be using this software to input any purchase requisition. And I can go in and run reports and do all that good stuff. So it's
better when it was always 6 months in arrears?
Well, for a while there it was. So now we'll be able to get it whenever we want. So I'm really excited. So yeah, the accounting department, they've been working their tails off for a long time to get up and running. They've done a great job. So training session went well, so I'm sure I'm still going to have many questions, but this is what our new budget report looks like.
I like it.
Yeah. So.
Did you always have that last column that says percentage of budget?
No, we didn't have that before.
I like that.
Yeah. So it'll take a little bit getting used to. The other format I think was a little bit nicer, but that's okay. I'll take it. So obviously we're not spending a lot of money right now. So we're pretty small right now. So anyway, that's our new budget report. All right, facilities, River Road. Our basketball court has a crack in it. So it has a crack in it from the winter time. And I had contacted the company several times, and I contacted them again right before I went on vacation. And they finally got back to me and they sent me a quote last week to have this crack fixed. So it's $1,900 to seal it. It's water, so there's like a low point on the court. And when water fills in on that low spot, that's what caused the cracking.
Okay. So is it what's under it, or is it the coating on top that let it out?
It's not just the coating, it goes below the coating.
Okay.
So I thought it was just the coating, and I had said to them, you know, that you just sealed this. It was a year and a half ago, but it's not just the coating. So it went below.
Okay.
So the asphalt's actually separating.
Yeah.
Can we send out Public Works?
Well, so because the sealant on the top, the coating, the basketball court coating is special material, they have to seal that crack and then resurface that whole area and repaint those lines. So it's not just a simple job. It's not just a cement court that's painted. It's a special material.
Are they saying do it before winter time?
They didn't, but yes, I'm assuming we should, only because if more water gets in there, it's just going to crack more.
It'd be worse.
And it's open. It's an open crack right now. So the more water that gets in there, if that freezes in there, it's just going to get worse.
Yeah, it could lift the tar up, right, Mike?
Yeah, we had a lot of clay in that area. I wonder if the bed was sufficient when we did that. Remember all the clay that was in that corner? They had to wait for it to dry out so they could actually get in there with a machine and move it. I wonder if that's because that clay will hold water like a magnet and freeze and thaw, but there's not much you can do about it now. Just
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's a good one too. It's pretty long.
Can we, so and obviously we don't have the money to do it, but how do we do this? Lions
No.
Club?
Well, we have, we still have some money in our fund balance. We have money in fundraising, so we can use some of that for repairs.
I think personally what's the court worth? $100,000?
yeah, you got to fix it. You got to keep up with it.
Right.
You just end up with a bigger problem.
Right. So when I had called them and talked to them, I had also asked them about lining that court for pickleball. I asked them if we could use, if there was like a special paint that we could use and put pickleball lines on that court without having them come in and put down permanent line striping.
Sure.
And I had asked about tape, and he said, don't ever put tape on there. He said the sun will bake the glue off the tape, and it'll be baked right into the acrylic on the top of the court. So he said, whatever you do, don't ever put tape on that court. So when he sent me the quote for the repairs, he sent me a quote for line striping it for pickleball. I'm not sure if that's really what we want to do, but that's $750 to stripe it.
Think it'll make it too busy?
Well, I think the pickleball people would be there earlier in the daytime.
Oh, I don't mean busy with people. I mean,
Oh,
when you look at the court, there's going to be lines everywhere now.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You thinking about one court or two?
I'm hoping for two, but I've got to, I'm not sure if we can squeeze two courts on there. We may only be able to get one. But we have nowhere to play pickleball. We're not going to be able to get into the gym. So I was just looking at other options so that we can get people out playing that are looking for other areas to go.
You set up that portable equipment that you have?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So we have the portable nets. We just need a court. So, and honestly, I didn't want to do permanent lines. That's why I asked them about, could we put chalk down? Could we, we may have to paint them over and over again. But I honestly didn't want to do permanent lines on there.
Is he not putting permanent?
No, so he's not, but he gave us a quote to put down permanent lines. So I just wanted to let you guys know, it's $750 for striping.
For permanent.
For permanent.
But he can do temporary as well, or he doesn't? No.
Yeah, they don't do temporary.
So it's chalk or permanent.
Right.
And where is this going again?
On the basketball court at River Road.
On the basketball court, every.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I understand now.
So we lost our gym. We're not going to be able to do anything in there. So trying to find areas. I mean, I even thought about painting some pickleball courts in the parking lot at the town office building. I don't know how feasible that would be. People would be chasing the ball around, but just looking at any possible option for people to get out and play.
But how much outdoor time do you have left this year, do you think?
Well, people can play, all the way up I mean, depending on what what the weather's going to be like this winter. You know, last year was pretty mild. They could play through December outdoors as long as there's no snow.
You got people asking you about it?
Yeah. Yep. So
I guess if it's the only surface you got and we own it, and you want to do multiple things on it, why not? And then down the road, if you get a pickleball court, you can always have the lines removed, right?
well, they wouldn't be able to remove them until it's time to resurface, which is in, I think we've had it for 2 years now. So probably in 4 to 5 more years, the whole basketball court is going to need to be resurfaced again.
What did we do in the gym? You guys chalked out? How did you make lines in the gym when you played?
We have portable, they're like plastic portable lines that we use, which, you know, they could use those too. They slide around a lot.
Right.
So.
What about the fact that you need a net, right? Like a,
Yeah, we have nets. We have portable nets. That's what we use at
Oh.
home school gym. So we could bring down, you know, we could set up certain times during the week for pickleball. Bring the nets down there, bring down the paddles, or people can, you know, bring their own paddles. We could bring the portable lines down. They're just a pain in the neck. People, they don't like them because they slide around all the time.
It's outdoors, it's going to be worse than it would be indoors because
Right. Right. As soon as dirt gets on the bottom of them or dust, they slide really, really easily.
I would imagine if you,
repair and paint those new pickleball lines.
I'm sorry, Joe, say that again?
He would do all this at once, repair
Yeah.
the court and put the pickleball lines down.
Right.
You think it's too busy, Mike? You think it's too many lines on the court?
the basketball people aren't going to care. They don't really, I mean, as long as it doesn't interfere with this, even the 3-point line, I mean, you can certainly see where it is. I don't think that's going to be an issue. I think the only lines that might affect, the basketball lines might affect the pickleball people more than, but depending on where they put it, if they only put one and it's in the center and.
So they, at the community center in Mansfield, they redid their entire gym, their basketball court, a year ago, maybe it was 2 years ago, but they redid the entire gym, putting down, painting pickleball lines on the basketball court. So in Mansfield, they used to use the same portable lines that we're using, and they complained constantly about them because they, you know, as soon as they get a little dust on them, they start sliding.
I would imagine if you're running and you hit that, you might slip too.
Right.
Nobody likes to tear a groin muscle.
I like to.
So they don't mind the lines on the basketball court. The pickleball people, they don't mind.
Yeah, you get used to playing the lines. You know which line is which.
Right.
Would they make them white like the rest of the lines, or would they do them a different color? Or
They would do them. Well, our lines are blue.
Oh.
They're blue. Our court is blue and green, so they would use white, or probably white for pickleball. Or he said we could use like a lighter color green or a lighter blue.
I'm looking at a picture online right now.
Yep.
Fine.
And it's a basketball court with pickleball lines.
Yeah, and it looks like about our size court, maybe a little smaller. Looks like it's in somebody's backyard. But they put the pickleball court in the very middle, going the same way.
Right. And that's what they told me.
Court, Mike.
yeah, in the middle would probably be the least obtrusive.
I think that would work. It doesn't look crazy.
So we'd get one pickleball court down there.
Yeah.
So the total project for that is $2,650.
Can you swing it?
I get nervous.
I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to get people to play pickleball.
Yeah. Yeah, I want people out there playing. I want people playing basketball. I'm hoping that we're going to be able to use the basketball court, which I'm going to bring up too. That's going to be part of the discussion. But
okay. Yeah,
people need to get out.
We just rented it out, didn't we, for like 3 days a week?
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
and I got
going to affect the pickleball.
well, they're ending. football that's ending in September.
Oh.
So I think they rented it for like 6 weeks, twice a week for 6 weeks.
Laura said there was somebody down there today that looked like I want to say a professional team, but maybe like a high school team of girls practicing or doing something.
Yep. Yep. That's the same soccer club.
Oh, it is.
Yep. So yeah, you know, I don't know when we're going to be able to get back into the gym. I don't know if it's going to happen. We're definitely not getting in there in the winter. I don't know if we're going to be able to get in there in the spring. So I'd like to find somewhere for people to play. And if it's on our basketball court, that's great. If not, I'd like to find another space, even if we have to paint lines in a parking lot somewhere for people to play.
I think the hoop court works. I'm trying to send you a picture of this. I think it works, Maureen. So if you can afford it, right?
Okay. I'm gonna.
It doesn't look horrible.
What?
It does not look horrible.
No, I know people are playing on, you know, there's lots of towns that have, you know, striping for different activities on their courts.
And then why don't we do that? And then down the road, we can look into striping or paving the volleyball court. Wasn't that the original plan?
At
I think
River Road? Yes.
Yeah,
So
River Road?
it was originally approved. It was approved in this year's CIP plan. And they ended up, because COVID hit, they ended up going back through CIP and taking out, they only put in some emergency projects for this fiscal year. So they took out pickleball. So as soon as we can get pickleball, that court down there, we'll have 2 pickleball courts down there where volleyball is right now. But now
Okay.
we're just holding, we're just waiting. So.
All
mean-
right.
I think it works.
Okay. All right, I will look a little bit more closely at our budget and see exactly how much we have in here to spend. But I know we've got about $6,000 in fundraising. And I don't see, like, our fund balance isn't listed on this new budget report. So I don't know what that is, but I think we had like another $6,000 in our fund balance. I want to say we had 18 altogether between our fund balance, Lions Club, and fundraising.
18,000?
I think so,
Wow.
if I'm remembering right. But we already have we're setting aside 5,000 for the scoreboard for the town office building.
That's not going to happen until next year, though, right?
Right.
Maybe by then, all school invents the vaccine.
Yeah.
Won't be back in order.
Right.
Oh, smile, Maureen. It's not that problem.
All right. So anyway, so I'll send you numbers once I got to ask them about that report and figure out where those other numbers are, because they're not listed on there.
Okay.
Okay. So the other items down at River Road, so we're still on facilities. So that's the basketball court and lining pickleball. We still need to get those irrigation covers done, which we have not done yet.
You're going to do the whole box, right?
Yep, the whole box.
I think the box is 75 each.
Yeah, even if we just do a few at a time, at least just to get the ones that have the broken covers, if we can get those fixed first.
Public Works said they'll do it, right?
Yeah.
Do you want me to just order you 3 of them tomorrow or 4?
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay. 4 is a good number.
Sure. How much are they, Joe?
Hang on.
Rocco, you still there?
Yes, I am. I'm listening.
All right, good. Your connection is okay then.
Yep.
Good. I'm going to move on to the next thing while Joe is looking
Fine.
looking that up. So the next thing is we had put our lighting project on hold because of COVID. I spoke with Mike McCoo 2 weeks ago and told him that I would really like to get that lighting project going if at all possible, because I would like to be able to use the basketball court into the winter months. I know people will still play basketball in December. If there's no snow in that court, people are there playing basketball. But we can't if we don't have lights down there at night.
Is that CIP money available for us?
Say that again?
Is that CIP money available for us?
Well, I believe, and I have an email into Donna Latinsik. I haven't heard back from her yet, but I believe that is LoSiP money, I believe. So we should be able to get at that, and that was funding from 1920, fiscal year 1920. The only thing that stopped us was COVID. They stopped all town meetings, so we couldn't get on the Board of Finance agenda. So now, if we can get to a Board of Finance meeting and they appropriate our funding, and then it goes to a town meeting. I spoke with Erica. She said she has to figure out how we could even hold a town meeting. It would have to be outdoors because we're not holding anything indoors.
You could hold it at Home Depot. I've been in there and there's been 300 people at a time.
Exactly.
I know. So, but what I told Mike was, you know, we need a facility. We need some place to hold some of our programs. Even if we can hold, you know, 3v3 basketball tournaments down there. You know, we could hold some youth clinics down there and keep the group small. But we can't do it without lights.
Right. You know what? No matter what, not even if they don't, even if it doesn't happen, the lights don't go up by the time the snow flies. If we could get this to start and they could get conduit in the ground and concrete in the ground before spring,
Right.
that would be awesome. Because now
Yeah.
we're not playing in mud.
Right. So the next Board of Finance meeting is on September 17th, I believe, Thursday, September 17th. As soon as I get the information that I need from Donna, I will email you guys and we can attend the meeting and ask for that funding, ask them to appropriate that funding for us.
Okay.
That's and then Erica has to figure out if we can bring it to a town meeting and how we go about that. But I would love to start that project. If we can get the majority of it done, that would be great. I would love to see lights, but.
Yeah, I agree. And even if next year, you know, COVID's not an issue, now you've got a lit basketball court that you can do all these other things on.
Right. Right. So, and again, it's funding. We have the money. We just can't go over budget. So we just have to make sure that we stay within budget on that one.
I just looked up those boxes. They're in my database. It's like $65.
Okay,
I don't
great.
know the last time that was updated, but I doubt that they're any more than 75. It's just kind of composite. There's nothing much to them.
Okay.
I'll
Yeah.
order 4 of them.
Okay, that would be great. Okay. All right, the town office building. A tree during one of the storms, a tree broke and fell on the back. It's all the way in the back on the baseball field that's not being used anymore. It fell on the fence and broke the fence. So I asked DPW to come in to cut the tree down. So I'm like, just, you know, put it on your back burner. The tree's got to get cut up and then we've got to fix the fencing.
Is there like a backstop? There's an old backstop back there. Is that what it hit?
There is a backstop back there.
And it came down on that?
Not on the backstop, on the fencing, on the regular fencing. We have a fence that goes around the entire perimeter of all of the baseball fields. And
So
it,
it's like a 4-foot fence.
yeah.
Well, that's not horrible, right?
No, hopefully not. I don't know. We saw what fencing quotes are, so they're not cheap, I'm sure. but
That's a 10-foot section, though. I wonder if DPW could fix it. That's something they might be able to fix.
maybe they'll have to get the tree off of it first to figure it out.
Okay.
So we'll look at that. Let's see. We're not doing any bus trips. I think I already told you that. Projects, we're doing a projects in the park where I'm working with a local company. Mika Ensign with Angel Pond Creations is coming in and doing some projects. We're doing them under the pavilion at River Road. And most of it is painting, where they're making signs and things like that. So we've had 2 so far, and we have another one coming up on September 15th, which is fun. The people that have showed up have had a great time. So it's been good. We've had yoga in the park. We are meeting at Fenton Ruby, and we've had outdoor yoga, which Fenton Ruby it's beautiful, beautiful place for yoga. So that's been well received. People are pretty excited. Kids have been showing up for it with their moms and dads. So it's been really great. So we'll see if we can continue we'll continue with outdoor yoga for as long as we can. And I talked to the instructor about maybe doing some hiking yoga. As the weather gets a little bit cooler, we can take it onto some of our hiking trails. So, yeah.
How many people go to that?
About anywhere between 12 to 15.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good. Yeah, there's actually spots for about 20. So I have everything measured out, keeping every person 8 feet apart. When people show up, they have to wear a mask. They register, they sign in, then they put their mats down. I have cones set up for them, like some of the little sport club cones. And they put their mat down right in front of the cone, and everybody's 8 feet apart. It's working out well.
Good.
Good.
Yeah. So this fall, we're going to try to do whatever kind of program we can come up with, whether it's sports, anything we can do down at the park. I'm going to start talking with some of the basketball coaches, seeing if we can run clinics and things like that on the outdoor court, 3v3 tournaments, anything. I tried to hold a wiffle ball camp for about a week, and I only got one, and that was for kids. I only got one person to register. We canceled that, but I have adults that want to play, so they were mad that it was only offered to kids. So if I would like to try to do it again and either host some wiffle ball games, family wiffle ball games. Maybe we could do a tournament of some sort and try to do that. But again, we're going to be dealing with the darkness. It's getting dark pretty early, so it may have to be like weekends.
Yeah, during the day.
Yeah. But
You might want weekdays for the temperature anyway.
yeah.
Is there fall ball this year? No fall ball.
Fall ball, I believe that they're playing fall ball, but they have joined with Mansfield. So they're not, there's not a lot of kids that are playing.
But
So
will they still use River Road?
they'll still use River Road, but not anywhere near as much. So, back to youth basketball. So I did have a meeting with all of the surrounding towns that we play basketball with. And we talked about, what can we do this winter, and what is everybody in the same boat? Can any town use their school gyms, or can they not? And the majority of them said no. There was one town that said that they can use the gyms. And one town didn't know yet if they could use the gym. They said they couldn't use the elementary, but they hadn't heard yet about the middle school and the high school. So we talked about possibly going to another venue, maybe Star Hill, or there's another place in East Hampton called Sports on 66, I believe. And if we could possibly host something at those 2 facilities. I don't know how you feel about that. Do we want to stay away from doing indoor sports and focus on outdoors while we can? How do you guys feel about that?
Outdoors probably safer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't the CIAC say they're gonna let fall sports happen?
They are.
Indoor and outdoor?
I have not read them completely. I know.
No, volleyball's going to be outside.
Oh, volleyball is outside,
Yeah.
and they've okayed football. I haven't heard anything about winter sports though.
They're going to go month by month.
Right, they're gonna wait and see what happens.
So I could tell you what they're doing for hockey. They're, they're assigning seats for people to watch a game, and they're only letting one parent or one person per family to attend a game. So
Right.
that's what they're doing for indoor sports for hockey. I don't know if you could do something like that with basketball, but
Right.
like I'm actually sitting in a parking lot right now.
Yeah. So I don't know. I was on vacation last week, so I wanted to talk to you first before I went to Star Hill because I didn't know if that would even be an option for us and if we even wanted to entertain the idea of playing indoor sports or indoor basketball.
Well, it's a big revenue though, isn't it, for the rec department?
Yep, it is.
And I think Collins easier to get to than East Hampton.
Right. So some of our towns, some of the towns in our league are Hebron, Coventry, Bolton, Mansfield, Ashford. And it was all of us together trying to figure out, can we find a couple of different locations? And in Mansfield, they're using the gym and the recreation, in the rec center. So I'm not sure if we'd be able to use some of that for some games also. I'm not sure. This is all just the beginning of things. We're just trying to figure out what can we do, if anything.
Star Hill that place comes at a premium, right?
It does. Yeah.
How much? I know their soccer fields are like $100 an hour. I don't know what the basketball court is.
Well, I can talk to him and find out if we can, if he'll work with us at all, but we would have to pass that cost on to the families.
Right.
Is that open, that facility? Are they in there doing stuff?
I think they are. I think they're open. Yes, as a matter of fact, they are. Because I know that somebody is, it's called Wins for Life. I had them come in. They did a coaches training for us, and they did some kids clinics also. And they're over at Star Hill with their clinics. So they're playing indoors.
So if you use the outdoor court,
Yes.
and you have lights, maybe even temp lights, maybe you can use it throughout the winter and then just play it by ear with snow.
Right. Well, that's my hope. I would love to be able to get lights in there as soon as we could, but by the time, if the Board of Finance appropriates, if everything goes as planned and Board of Finance appropriates funding, and then Erica can get a town meeting, we're looking at October before we can even start the project.
What about temp lights? Like I know a lot of soccer programs just put up temp floodlights and they could practice at night.
That's a lot of money too, though. Unless, do we own a set of those with a diesel motor on the trailer? Does the town have that?
Not that I know of. I can ask DPW if they can get their hands on them, but I don't think we could just keep them for the entire winter down there.
Probably steal a set off the highway. You got a 2-inch ball on your pickup, Mike?
No, it should work. Under cover of darkness.
Yes,
So yeah, I would love to use, if we could get some temporary lights, that would be great. But we'd have to have them for a long time, for a few months anyway.
It might almost be something worth purchasing.
The town might have some for emergencies.
I'll check. I think in the past they've had to borrow them from other towns. I'm not sure if we have our own dedicated lights. I think the fire department has some because they put some on the green forest for last year's tree lighting. Remember, we had all that snow for the tree lighting, and they put some more lighting at the end of the green forest. But I can ask them.
Yeah, I mean, they would run forever if you got ones that are LED as opposed to, you know, high-powered HPS or something. United Rentals.
Are you pulling them up online right now, Joe?
I'm looking United Rentals, but you got to put them in your cart. And
Yeah. I'd be curious to know how much they would be. And I know you can rent them. I don't know how much they are to rent.
oh God, if you think about it, you have power.
Yeah.
You don't really need a power supply. You know, we could pull something to one of those ground boxes and just pop up a cord. Not like a 120 volt cord, but I just wonder if someone's got a stanchion set that doesn't require diesel. Hold on. Oh. Wow, now it's filling in like crazy. Hang on a minute. $227 a month for 1,000-watt portable light stand ports. That's not going to help. I think a diesel light tower's got to be $300 a month for a 2,000-watt metal halide. That's a plug-in. I bet you it's $1,000 a month to get
Yeah.
diesel operated, and we don't want to do that. Let me look around and see. Oh, we need something that gets up in the air. I'll look around. See if I
Okay.
can find- Maybe if we can even find something used and buy it, and then you've got it forever.
Yeah. I'll talk to Troy too and see if he knows of anything.
You'd only need it for practices because during the games you could play on the weekend and use sunlight, right? You could start at 10
Yeah.
a.m.
Yep.
You're talking about practice slots during the week.
Right.
But you're going to want it for a month. You're not going to go every time you need it to pull it down there, right?
Yeah. They would just stay there. I'm assuming.
Right. So you'd have to keep it for a month or so. I'll see if I can find something simple that we could power. You just trying to light the hoop court? What are you trying to light?
Just the basketball court.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. It doesn't have to be perfect because they just need something they could do drills on. It doesn't have to be game quality because they're going to play the games on the weekend. That's why I brought it up, and you can use the natural sunlight on the weekends.
Right. Right. And yeah, during the week it can just be clinics and practices and, you know, practicing drills. That's it.
We can get somebody to just set a pole for us near one of those handholds. You can get power over there and just put a cluster of LED lights on there. LED floods are pretty cheap. And it's just there until we do something else and that comes down.
Harbor Freight.
Huh. It's pretty amazing how cheap you can get LED floodlights that are equivalent to like 1,000-watt or 400-watt metal halide. They're pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Especially if you said they were for the town. They build a rebate into them when you buy them. So I just bought a bunch of lights that are normally $180 to $400 each, and you're getting them for $25 because they build a rebate into it. So I don't know, with the town, we could put up a pole and make it temporary, and then we don't have to pull a permit. And
Right. That's what I was just gonna say. We'd have to get a whole new type of,
temporary, we don't need a permit.
if it's temporary.
I don't think so. Ask DPW if they've got anything or they know anybody. I'll look around tomorrow.
All right.
I'll see if I can find something.
Actually, Mike is on. I don't know if Mike is gonna answer, but Mike, you still with us or?
Hold on 1 second, my volume, let me turn it up.
Okay, great. You good?
Hold on 1 second, sorry. Okay,
Question. We're talking about River Road and putting up the possibility of putting up some temporary lighting
Yeah.
because we're not going to be able to use Hall School Gym for basketball.
yep.
Would we have to get a special permit or no permit if we just wanted to use some temporary lighting for during the week?
So I'm actually dealing with this right now in another town. There's a for-profit private facility that needs to use lighting for fields because they can't have the kids inside. And while there aren't any executive orders that deal with this exactly, I think that if it's related to COVID in some way, we're trying to be flexible. I wasn't paying attention to your discussion to know if it's related to that or not, but if it would be, and it was temporary, I would say that I would do that as a staff person.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we're talking about, Mike. So we can't use Hall School Gym because of COVID. And that means we can't hold any of our winter programs. We can't hold basketball, pickleball. So we're looking at, and you know that you guys approved our lighting project, but it was all put on hold because of COVID. So we wanted to have the lights in the park in the spring, but that didn't happen. So we'd like to put some sort of lighting down there so that we can at least play basketball. We'll get several months out of that court, but we can't right now because we don't have lights.
So so you'd want them up now through basically the weather?
Yes.
Or in the spring?
Yeah, no, now through, at least through December, and depending on weather, as soon as we have snow on the ground, they're not going to be able to use the court anymore. But
Yeah.
last year, right through December, it was great. Or at least December.
The approach that I've basically taken is that there are some things that still require some realistic adjustments, even if we don't have a governor's order that says that's what we have to do. And so in this case, it's a town park. I mean, the fact that you're going for a special permit to begin with, don't get me started on that. So I would say if you can get me a plan that just shows, what you're planning to light, and we can, we'll have you fill out a permit, waive the fee, just to show that it's temporary. If anybody has any questions, I see that as no big deal.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay. That's perfect. Thanks, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we'll
Try and find something portable,
yeah,
because they can't stop us from using something portable.
right. So we'll talk with DPW, and Joe, if you find something, let me know.
All right. I just looked, and there's stuff out there. I'll look a little harder.
Okay. Okay, let's see. So that's it for basketball. We're supposed to be meeting again soon with the other surrounding towns that we play basketball with to see if we can come up with something. I will go to, okay, let me go back, step back to Star Hill. So do you want me to not try Star Hill and do anything indoors, and let's stick with what we can do outdoors?
And if you're trying to find things to do, I don't think it would hurt to go to Star and ask them how much it would cost and see if the other towns would be willing to do it. You think parents will give you pushback?
I honestly, with the numbers that I see of the programs that I'm offering, I don't think we're going to get a lot of people to sign up. So it's hard to say. I don't think we're going to get pushback. I think we're just not going to get as many. We're definitely not going to get as many registrations as we typically do. At least not for the younger kids. High school may be a little bit different, but I don't know. So until we offer it, I don't know.
How much money do we have if you tried to buy a light tower? $2,000?
Well, I don't know. Again, I thought we had about 18, which includes our fund balance, Lions Club money, and fundraising money. I thought we had 18. So, and I know another project that we have to finish this year is the pump for the irrigation system.
Oh, get it ready for winter.
We've got to do that too. So, and every dime this year is going to count. Every project that we do is going to count because we don't have any revenue coming in. We have very little coming in.
So is this the year to do this baseball scoreboard? Because who's that for?
We did put that on hold, Rocco. We decided to put that on hold until some of our other programs start running again.
Okay.
So we're not doing that right now. We were hoping to be able to do that in the spring, but we don't know when.
All right. I thought you were still planning on doing that. Okay. Sorry.
No, not right now. So we do have the money set aside though. You know, we told the Lions Club that we wanted to use their funding for that. I lost you guys.
I'm here.
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
I'm not sure
Uh-oh.
what happened to my screen.
Oh, you're back.
You can see me?
I could
Yeah.
see you and hear you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. So we did tell the Lions Club that we were going to use their donations for the scoreboard, but we're just holding off on it for now. Which is $5,000. But again, that was for the bigger scoreboard. We could bounce it back to the smaller scoreboard for 3,000, but so 18 minus 5 brings us down to 13.
You're trying to get things to happen now, right?
Minus the 3 for the pickleball court and the crack.
Right.
But if you could get the pickleball court set up and you got some lights over there, you'd really be using that basketball court. And that's yours.
Right. So, you know, we can look at, you know, fundraising, ways to fundraise. I don't know. I'm sure there's some way that we can start bringing some money in. You know, we ask for sponsors for our concerts. And I've seen, you know, different types of sponsorships. You know, maybe we could find, you know, start a program where, you know, people are sponsoring our park. You know, maybe we can get, you know, fundraising or donations that way.
Yeah, I agree, but for something specific, right? No?
Or just anything, any maintenance of our park. The town does not give us money to maintain our park, right? So
Yeah, right.
we pay for all of that maintenance out of our programs, and we're not running programs right now, but we still have to maintain our facilities.
So how would we take care of that? Can you put something in the wire or whatever that publication is called now?
Yeah.
Save Our Park?
Yep.
When's that come out again?
I'm working on that this month, so it's supposed to go out on October 1st. But that, I mean, it's something. You know, if we can do something and try to find donations somehow, or we fundraise, I don't know how we fundraise. The best way to fundraise is through events. You know, that's what brings in the most money. And we can't
Hard
do
to hack event, right?
yeah, we can't do that right now.
Ay, ay, ay.
Yeah.
Can't find anything cheap, Maureen.
No. So, well, we'll look into it. Well, that's all we can do. We'll look into it and see what we can do.
The light tower is not a horrible idea if you could get something cheap, because then you get the basketball court lit, and in the summertime, you could have a portable light tower that could be stored down there. Plug it in, and you could use it for soccer, or
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, definitely for concerts, whether, well, I mean, we'll have lights down there for the playground and that entire area, but yeah, extra light wouldn't hurt.
All right, I'll see if I can find something portable somewhere.
Okay. So yeah, so that irrigation is going to have to be fixed soon in the next 2 months before it starts getting.
Yeah,
I don't remember. I think it was like 700. That's why I said hold off. Right? Was it like around?
I was just going to say 750, so I think that's right.
I think that's what it was. And we said, so I said, just fix the leak and we'll do the other piece of it before winter.
Right, so before it gets too cold.
And it's, you know, we're only 2 months away from that.
Yeah,
So,
it's be a crummy winter too.
yeah. So we'll get moving on that one too. Let's see, kayaks have still been going out every weekend. They're booked for another, I think we're now into mid-September that they're booked every weekend. So that's great. People are loving them.
No more leaks.
No more leaks. We fixed them. So it's good.
That's good.
The memorial benches. So the memorial bench for the town office building is on hold. The family that purchased that bench wants to wait until they hold the field dedication. So they don't want that installed yet. The bench down at River Road, Matt Dombrowski, I sent you guys that email. Matt was supposed to install that last week and unfortunately had a terrible accident and is now out of work. I did speak with Matt. He's okay, but he does have a little bit of recovery time and lots of physical therapy. I told him I would check back in with him when I got back from vacation. So I will check with him this week to see how he's doing. And he told me to go ahead and find somebody else to do the job because he didn't know when he would be able to do it.
Yeah.
I told him to hold tight. I'll call you when I get back from vacation and we'll see how your recovery is doing. You know, maybe it'll go quicker than he thinks. I didn't know. So I'll check in with him this week. And if we have to find somebody else, we'll find somebody else, which is unfortunate.
What was he going to do? Dig it out and put the concrete in?
Matt was going to install the bench. He was going to pour the concrete pad, install the plaque, and install the bench.
Has
No.
he given you any indication of how long he thinks he might need to recuperate?
No. So, you know, when I spoke with him, it was like 3 days or 4 days after his accident. And he told me to go ahead and find somebody else because he didn't know. And I said, look, I'm going on vacation. You know, let's just wait, give it a week. And when I come back, I'll touch base with you again and we'll see how you're feeling. You know, maybe he'll heal quickly and he's going to be back to work quicker than he thinks. But at the time, he just didn't know.
Okay.
Crushed by equipment, didn't he?
What? What, Joe?
What happened to him? He got crushed by an excavator or something, or a tractor?
Yeah, an excavator. So when it tore, unbelievably, he didn't break a single bone, but
Wow.
it tore up one of his legs pretty badly. It landed on one of his legs and crushed his foot, but no broken bones. So he does have, you know, I guess there were layers of stitches on his leg, and so he's got a lot of PT, and he's got a little bit of time to heal. So he's lucky. He's a lucky man.
I think that means you definitely got to find somebody else.
Yeah.
He's a long way out.
Yeah, he told me to. I told him, you know, I was going on vacation anyway, so let me, you know, I'll just call you when I get back, and we'll see how you're doing. So anyway, I feel for the guy. So he's going to be out of work for a while. So concerts are over. Our last concert was on Friday, August 21st. We had great bands this year, and the weather was perfect. It really couldn't have been any better. So the people were okay with social distancing, keeping 15 feet apart. People appreciated the live stream on Facebook. There were a lot of people that didn't want to come down or couldn't make it. So they were able to watch it either the night, they either watched it live or they were able to catch it later, you know, the next day or 2 days later. So they appreciated that too. So it was a good season. I got a phone call from a resident today. He has a friend who is, he's done work on Broadway, and he's a singer. He's in a band and he sings Beatles songs. And he wants to perform a concert for us in September down at River Road. So he's not asking for a fee, because I told them, you know, every concert that we hold is all through sponsorship. And he just asked for donations. So I said I'd be happy to I'd open up concessions and put a donation tip jar up for him. And so we're going to hold a concert on Sunday, September 20th from 11 to 1. And it's kid friendly. He does a lot of sing-alongs with kids, and but it's all Beatles songs.
That's neat.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I think that'll be fun.
Yeah.
We've never done a Sunday afternoon, so I think it'll be awesome.
You'll get a crowd.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. So, you know, it's an 11 o'clock to 1. So, you know, I can do something a little bit different in concessions and offer coffee and things like that this time. So it should be all right.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. I think that's about it. I am still on my list to do is to go visit the library to find out when their building is not open to the public yet. So even if we wanted to hold a program in there, we couldn't, because they haven't even opened up their building. So I'm gonna go over there and find out when they will, if they're thinking of opening, and when that will be, and you know, if and when we can start holding programs over there.
Is that their choice, or is that?
I believe so, there's other libraries that are open to the public.
So that's us.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the reason is, but they are not open to the public.
Right. But I mean,
So we'll see. But that's it. I think that's all I have for you guys.
Okay. So what are you going to do about the stripes? You going to call and have the crack fixed and have them stripe for pickleball?
I'm going to look at our budget first, and I'm going to put together what projects we have coming up and how much money we're looking at spending. And then I'll let you guys know where we stand and how much we look at spending, and some of the projects that we know are going to be happening and what we want to do. And then I think we should make a decision from there.
Okay.
You
don't want to wait too long on that crack though, right?
No, I think the crack we definitely have to do, but the striping is not something we have to do. You know, if we could use chalk on the court, I'd rather use chalk. If we have to, you know, make stripes every time they play, you know, I'd rather do that than spend another, well, it's actually not a lot of money, but $1,000.
If you did everything at once, or no?
Yeah, they would do everything at once.
But at a discount or same price? All same price?
same price.
I think the pickleball thing, to me, you're going to use it forever going forward.
Mhm.
So I don't think it's money poorly spent.
No,
It might be a while before we actually get to tennis court. The volleyball court turned into pickleball too, so.
right. Right. So, and if you have an idea of where else we could put a pickleball court, I'd love to hear it. People, you can play on asphalt, you can play on cement, you can play outdoors on any hard surface.
What about St. Jude's?
Yep, we could set something up in the parking lot over there. The only thing is if there's no fencing, the ball goes flying. So, I thought about putting up temporary fencing of some sort. Fencing in a big area and then painting pickleball courts on some asphalt somewhere. We have some of that leftover orange snow fencing. We have all of it. We saved it. Could we use that to enclose a space?
Is it like 4 feet tall?
Yeah, at least 4 feet.
Yes, you could, yeah. Wouldn't stop high stuff going out, but it'd keep things from rolling away.
Right.
Yeah. Where were you thinking of doing that?
Well, the one place that came to mind was the town office building. There's a lot of space over there. I don't know if they would let us, but it was a thought. I was trying to think of any flat parking lot in town. We don't have that many. Say, the church is one, Hall School, the town office building, but we would have to put stripes into the parking lot, and they have parking lines.
Yeah.
How about the basketball court at Center School?
So the last I talked with Phil before I went on vacation, he was looking at putting up some, are they tents? Some sort of tents. It's going to be a mask-free zone. And so that kids can go under these tents. He was looking at like a pavilion or tent type areas. And I think he found one. It's not a tent. I think it's some sort of a structure that he's planning on putting up. And I believe he said over the basketball courts. Because that was the other place that I thought, well, we have 2 basketball courts at Hall School. We'll have one at River Road, and we have one at Center School. And I believe he's, at least before vacation, that's what he was talking about.
Where are they at Hall School? Out in the parking lot?
Yes. Yeah, right next to the playground. So we can't use those courts either.
Do you think you want to stay away from the schools anyhow?
Yeah, probably.
The dump.
I don't think they have a flat spot, do they?
Make one.
Maybe Troy will empty out his garage. He'll take out all the trucks out of the garage and we can use the inside of the garage.
There you go.
I still think your best bet is River Road.
Yeah, oh, I definitely do too. Yeah.
And for the amount of running around you're going to have to do, putting down chalk all the time and setting up courts, if you had it there, adults used it during the day, kids are in school.
Yep.
You could probably set something up. I think if that fits into your budget, we could at least put some fencing on each end so that balls aren't going that way. Some of that snow fencing.
Right. All right. I will put together a spreadsheet with all of the projects that we have coming up for this year. And we'll figure out how much we have in our fund balance. And I guess we'll take it from there.
Yeah, just prioritize.
Yeah, well, definitely the basketball court and the irrigation. Those are the 2 top projects anyway.
Yep, I agree. How much was the hoop fix? 1900?
Yeah. 1900, 750 for the stripes.
Yep. 2650 altogether.
Maybe that's a fundraiser, no? Save our hoop court?
Yep.
Can we post that on the internet under your site?
Yep.
Town site?
Yeah.
You know, hey, we're trying to get people outside. And this is exactly what it would cost to make it work. Who's willing to help us out?
Yep.
We're playing for free.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. I think fundraising, and it's a way to get people to understand how our department runs, you know, and to put it out there that the town does not subsidize our department or any of our programs. We pay for the maintenance, you know,
Yeah.
at the park, all of the little projects.
Taxpayer money.
CIP will cover some of our big projects that we request, hopefully. But other than that, we're covering the cost of all maintenance.
I like that. See if you can put out a flyer or something on the internet that says, hey, we're trying to raise, what, $2,600 or $2,700 to try and get the basketball court fixed and get pickleball lining on it. You've got everything to go to pickleball. You got all the nets and everything you need to play, right?
Yep.
Could you store all that stuff down at River Road?
Yeah, I would have to figure it out. So what I would probably do is have specific times during the day that we would open it up to pickleball. So we would reserve it, just like we did for futsal. We reserve the court for specific days and specific times for futsal.
Okay.
I would do the same thing for pickleball, and I would go down there and set the nets up for them, and then just take them down at the end of their allotted time.
So would that be a program that they pay to play, or it's just to let people play?
Yeah, I would. Right now, I would do it as a revenue maker, so they would have to pay to play.
So if you got that many people anxious to play pickleball, isn't the $750 worth it?
I think so. I think so. Yeah.
Might make it back.
Right. I don't know how many people will get to come out to play, but honestly, people are looking all the time to find somewhere to go.
Something to do.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think once people start seeing people play pickleball, it's going to draw more people.
Exactly.
That's the place to do it because people are at River Road.
Right. Right. So I say we do it.
I agree. Let's do a fundraiser for that.
Fine.
Okay.
And as an aside, I was at a customer's house in Summers 2 weeks ago, a week ago. And he had to, I had to be there at a specific time because he had to take his kid to soccer. And it was at River Road.
Oh,
Yeah. And he said it's great.
yeah. They love that park.
So it must have turned, is that all done or are they still playing?
No, they have the field reserved through November.
He had nothing but good to say about River Road.
Good.
And he's coming all the way from Summers.
Yep. That's good to hear.
Yeah, I thought that was great.
Yep. So that's through Connecticut Celtic Soccer Club. They have the field reserved almost every night of the week.
Wow.
Not just the soccer field, but they have the basketball court too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's busy down there. And the park is, I'm down there all the time, and the residents take really good care of that park. If they see garbage, they're picking it up. They take really good care of it.
I watched one of your live feeds. I think it was for Billy Pilgrim. I watched for about a half hour, and you could see kids on the swing set like crazy. So they're out there playing.
Oh yeah, yeah, the whole time. That was a great band, by the way.
Yeah, they sounded pretty good.
They were great.
Any hassles down there? Like anybody complaining or freaking out or being weird?
None.
Good.
None. And whenever somebody sat too close to somebody and I asked them to move, or I said, this is, you have to be 15 feet, there were no issues at all. They did not complain. They were just happy to be there.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
It was nice that you did the concerts this year, because even that was iffy for a few minutes.
I know. And it worked out really well. Last year, I think we had to cancel or reschedule almost every concert last year because the weather was so terrible. And this year, the weather couldn't have been more perfect.
Yeah, luckily we didn't get any rain for like a month and a half.
No, we had to reschedule one, and that was just because the roads were bad because of the tropical storm. It wasn't because the weather was bad that night. The weather was great that night. It was just we didn't want people on the roads.
Right.
Yeah, it was great. We had some really good crowds.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So there's a silver lining.
Yes.
I know it's not a revenue maker, but it's rec. It's people getting together down at River Road.
Right. Yeah, and we got people out. And a lot of the people that were out were seniors, and they were really happy to be outside. So it was good.
All right. Do we have old business and new business, or did we do it?
Nope, that's it. I don't have anything else for you.
I'm still all about if we have enough money to try and do the basketball court.
Okay,
I'll help you put up the fencing if you need help.
All right. As soon as I figure out this budget report, I will let you know.
Isn't it good though that you're kind of a part of it?
Oh yeah, I love it.
Right.
Oh, I couldn't be happier. I love being able to pull up this report. And if I gave the tax collector a deposit last week, and all I have to do is go into my report and it's already there.
That's nice.
It's really nice.
How much did they spend on this accounting software?
I don't remember. I'm not sure.
A big number, I bet.
But it's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, we needed it.
Yeah, we really do.
Okay.
So yeah, once I figure that piece of it out, I'm sure there's a way for me to see what's in my fund balance. And it might actually be on this report and I just don't know how to read it yet, but.
Is there a name for that software? Just curious.
Is it iVisions?
Oh, okay. That's all. Just to know.
I'm not sure if that's the name, but I think that's the website.
Okay. Yeah, just curious.
Log in.
No big deal. Just curious about that.
Yeah, that's really nice. So, but I'll let you guys know. I'll put a spreadsheet together tomorrow and I'll send it out to you and let you know how much we have, and then I'll let you know what tentative projects we have coming up.
All right. I'm going to order 4 of those ground boxes before I leave my desk tonight, so we'll have those tomorrow. I'll drop them off at River Road.
Okay.
I'll tell you, I think I have a key to the shed. I can put them in there. Right?
Yeah.
At River Road. All right. I'll do that.
Okay.
All right. Are we going to adjourn?
I think so. I'm all done.
All right. I make a move to adjourn.
All right.
All right. Second.
All right, guys.
Take care. Have a good evening.
You guys too. Maureen, keep your chin up.
All right. We'll talk to you soon.
See ya.
All right. Thank you.
See you later.
Take care.